family and our amazing community. Now, this is actually my, first live that I've ever done. So kindly please bear with me because I'm not very good at, doing lives. No wonder I prefer, making videos than just posting it. Now, hello Vada, good morning, and hello Brenda, good morning to you too. Now, the first thing that I wanted to say is the fact that I got an article that I would like to share with all of you. And now in this article, it talks about Prince Harry's legal court case against the Daily Fail. Yes, Prince Harry's legal court case against the Daily Fail. And I think it's going to be, a huge fight between Prince Harry and the Daily Fail. And once again, I'm sincerely hoping that Prince Harry is able to win this legal case against the Daily Fail, because Daily Fail has caused so much pain and harm towards Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Now, my family, I'll go right to it because this is a worthy read, something that I just got. Now, UK press are under fire again as political figures and A-listers like Elton John level new accusations, with detailed allegations expected this week. And a UK press crusader said this, and I quote, "I think that we are looking at the thin end of the wedge," says a UK press crusader. Now, on Sunday night, CNN aired part 5 of the Murdoch's Empire of Influence, a new documentary series that's basically the real-life version of Succession. Now, Sunday's episode, Hack Job, revisited the phone hacking scandal that rained disgrace on Rupert Murdoch. Listen, I just have to say this because sometimes I ask myself, like, how does Rupert Murdoch get away with many things that he keeps on getting away with? I have no idea how someone can do so much pain and so much harm and get away with it. And the secret lies in the fact that Rupert Murdoch knows a lot of things, whether it's, scandals involving politicians, affairs, anything he knows, because UK press will go to any length to get any information on members of the royal family, politicians, and UK press are unlike any other media outlet. A real, respectable media outlet will post anything or brief the public or any scandal, corruption involving their politicians. But in the UK, what they do is they keep that information to themselves and see how it will benefit the media. That is how the UK press engage. That is how they behave. And those behaviors have no place in the society that we all live in. Now, even President Joe Biden called Rupert Murdoch one of the greatest threats to democracy, the greatest threats to democracy, a danger to democracy. Note my words, what Joe Biden said about Rupert Murdoch. These individuals have caused more harm to society than any other communist country, whether it's Russia or China, could ever cause, especially on the US. Remember what happened with the insurrection. And my family, someone told me that I am sideways, so let me try and put this, all right. How about this? Is this cool or okay? And my family, Vada, is this okay? I hope it's okay with you guys right now, because this is my first time once again doing this live. So my family, now as I continue, these phone hacking allegations have been, here with us for quite a long time. and it's high time that someone puts a stop to the daily fail. It's high time that someone puts a stop to the daily fail, and I'm hoping that Prince Harry is the person to do just that. Now, my family, someone said that for those of us who painstakingly obsessed over every twist and turn in this sordid affair, it was a hearty dose of nostalgia. And yet news about phone hacking suddenly feels anything but nostalgic. A raft of fresh allegations from a number of very prominent people have not only thrust the matter back into the headlines, but also ensnared one of Britain's most powerful media organizations, the Daily Fail, owned by Lord Rothmere. And this guy, his family, has owned Daily Mail for quite a long time. This guy has owned Daily Fail for quite a long time. And his name is Rothmere. Both Rothmere and Rupert Murdoch are a huge threat to democracy. My family, I believe that all of you have heard what has happened in the UK right now, with the Prime Minister of the UK resigning. And my family, I'll tell you where the problem lies. The problem lies with the fact that the country in the UK is being run by billionaires. That is where the problem lies. The country in the UK is being run by billionaires. The Murdochs, the Rothmeres, they run the UK. And the way they're running the UK is a very, illegal way. It shouldn't happen how it's happening in the UK. For instance, if you want to run for Prime Minister in the UK, you have to speak with Rupert Murdoch. If you want to become Prime Minister of the UK, you have to speak with Murdochs, Rothmeres. That is the number one thing that you need to do. My family, I want you to hear, an address by the Prime Minister who resigned in the UK. Liz Truss resigned in the UK.
Time of great economic.
Now, she said this.
I came into office at a time of great economic and international instability. Families and businesses were worried about how to pay their bills. Putin's illegal war in Ukraine threatens the security of our whole continent, and our country has been held back for too long by low economic growth. I was elected by the Conservative Party with a mandate to change this. We delivered on energy bills and on cutting national insurance. And we set out a vision for a low-tax, high-growth economy that would take advantage of the freedoms of Brexit. I recognise, though, given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party. This morning I met the chairman of the 1922 committee, Sir Graham Brady. We've agreed that there will be a leadership election to be completed within the next week. This will ensure that we remain on a path to deliver our fiscal plans and maintain our country's economic stability and national security. I will remain as Prime Minister until a successor has been chosen. Thank you.
My family, that was the Prime Minister of the UK resigning after just 6 weeks in office. 6 weeks in office. And Prime Ministers are chosen by billionaires in the UK. That's how you get picked, by billionaires. If you want to run for office, you have to speak with the owner of the Daily Fail, Rothmere, or, Rupert Murdoch, the owner of The Sun. That's the only way for you to become a Prime Minister in the UK. The other things are just last. Speaking to the public is last. The first thing you need to do is speak with the Murdochs and the Rothmeres. They have so much power. And because they have so much power, they get away with so many things. My family, that needs to change. That has got to change. Now, my family, as you all know, Prince Harry is suing Daily Fail alongside Elton John, Baroness Doreen Lawrence, David Furnish, and actors Elizabeth Harley and also Sadie Frost. And my family, it's high time that Daily Mail answers for the crimes that it has done, throughout the years. It gets away with so many things. Now, in a press release issued through the law firm Hamlins on October the 6th, these individuals, Harry, Elton John, Doreen Lawrence, publicly claimed they were victims of abhorrent criminal activity and gross breaches of privacy at the hands of A&L, Associated Newspapers, parent company of the Mail, and its sister titles, The Mail on Sunday and The Mail Online. More to the point, the press release alleges the hiring of private investigators to secretly place listening devices inside of people's cars and also their homes, the commissioning of individuals to surreptitiously listen into and record people's lives, private telephone calls while they were taking place, and the accessing of bank accounts, credit histories, and financial transactions through illicit means, among other illegal practices. The plot soon thickened. 4 days after the Hamlins announcement, it was revealed that former British MP Simon Hughes had joined the pile-on. So Hughes filed his claim the same day as the others, but that it did not initially show up in the court's e-filing. Again, details are scant, but The Guardian reported that Hughes' case was expected to claim that the paper's publisher employed a private investigator who improperly accessed his voicemail messages, aka phone hacking. How is this okay in the world that we live in? How is this okay? How do the UK press get away with so many evil things that they do? How do they get away with so much that they continue engaging in? It's high time that they indeed face accountability. Now, in a separate but adjacent story, The Guardian reported that Maddox the Son faces another 8 phone hacking cases that are working their way through the legal system. My family, the reason that the Maddox, the Rothmills keep doing what they are doing is because they get away with it. And someone called Sheila James said that those accused of these crimes are now employed by Charles and Camilla. And that's true in chief positions. Charles and Camilla had deputy editor of the Daily Fail. That's who they hired. A tabloid that keeps on harassing and bullying his own son. How is that okay? How is that okay? And yet Charles can go on TV and shamelessly say that he loves Harry. What a bunch of lies, because he needs the PR. That's what he needs. But he is not genuine, not one bit. Now, originally, phone hacking revelations focused on Murdoch's News of the World, which is now defunct. And the thing that you must know about Murdoch's News of the World is the fact that it was brought down by high-profile people with money who filed legal cases against News of the World for phone hacking. And that led to the end of News of the World, owned by Murdoch. How can a tabloid that an owner owns get shut down for illegal practices, yet the owner of that same tabloid gets to walk scot-free? How is that okay? Rupert Murdoch gets away with so many things, and I just hope that the day comes that he's held accountable for all of his actions, the pain that he has caused my family. I sincerely hope that that day indeed comes, because News of the World was shut down officially in 2011. The following year came the findings of the Levinson inquiry into British press practices, a long-awaited second installment of the inquiry examining the relationship between British press, the police, was curtailed by Theresa May's government in 2018. a government scuttles an investigation into British press practices. Why would that be? Why would that be? Because in the UK, somehow, even politicians are afraid of the UK press. How is that okay? How is that in the world that we live in now, in this modern day and age that we live in? How is that okay? That as the public, you're afraid of the papers, that if they come after you, they come with the goal of destroying you, and they never stop until they succeed. Because just look at what they've done with Harry and Meghan. They are not stopping the smear campaign, the bullying, the insults, the racism. They haven't stopped. Clearly, they have a goal to break Harry and Meghan, but they will never be able to do just that, because prime ministers work with the field. And whenever there's a scandal in the UK, the number one thing that UK press put on the front pages is something to do with, Meghan. That's what they normally do. Meghan is used as a distraction for any scandal in the UK. When that time came for Harry and Meghan to come to the UK for the One Young World Summit, remember what I told you. The number one story on the BBC, taxpayer-funded BBC, was that Prince Harry and Meghan were coming to the UK. Not that they had a prime minister in the UK. The number one story was Harry and Meghan are coming to the UK. Not even a new prime minister is enough to make UK press talk and focus on their new prime minister. And now that prime minister, 6 weeks are over, and she's out. She is out. Liz Truss is out. My family, that trail of the crown said that the monarchy is supposed to be a symbol of stability in the UK, but yet we are not seeing anything being stable in the UK. There is nothing stable in the UK right now as we speak. There is nothing that is stable. Everything seems unstable in the UK. My family, it's high time that people in the UK demand more of the press, demand more of the government, and not when you get an article that Meghan Avocado ate an avocado, front page news. You need to demand more, demand more. Demand news involving your economy, because the UK is in the midst of a financial crisis right now, and yet the UK press are more focused on the bullying of Meghan. That just needs to stop. That needs to come to an end. Now, my family, the scandal, as many expected, did not remain confined to news of the world. Litigation eventually spread to the Sun, which has steadfastly denied phone hacking, while still settling lawsuits alleging the practice. Between News of the World and the Sun, Murdoch News Group newspapers, a British division within News Corps, has paid out hundreds of millions of pounds to a veritable army of litigants. Prince Harry, however, has refused to settle with Rupert Murdoch. Could it be one of the reasons why Murdoch-owned press are fully out going after Prince Harry and Meghan? Could that be the reason? Aside from the fact that, this hate campaign against Meghan is a multi-billion dollar business. People are making money from drumming up hate against Meghan and Prince Harry. And that latest person is someone called Megyn Kelly. Now, Megyn Kelly worked for the BBC. No, not the BBC, sorry. I think it was an American, broadcaster. And she got fired for making, racist comments. Megyn Kelly. She was fired for making racist comments. That woman, Megyn Kelly, has a YouTube channel dedicated to drumming up hate against Harry and Meghan. And even Christopher Bowsey, the founder of Boat Sentinel, talked about it, because he said that this woman, Megyn Kelly, whenever she speaks about any other subject, she never, gets so much views. However, when she is drumming up hate against Meghan, she gets hundreds of thousands of views. And that tells you that they have a money incentive to continue doing what they're doing. Because Christopher Bowsy, had a screenshot of, what Megyn Kelly was talking about. Whenever this woman, Megyn Kelly, talks about Meghan, she gets a lot of views. Megyn Kelly worked for the NBC, or is it ABC? One of them. And she was fired for racism. Yes, she was fired for racism. And it tells you exactly the type of people who go after Meghan. It tells you the type of people who go after Meghan. They have, a dubious, life. If you look at them, if you research on them, you can find something that is not good about them. Because yes, she used to work for NBC news anchor Megyn Kelly issued an apology for comments earlier in the day, making racist comments. Let me just not even go more than that, because this one said that she couldn't see what is so offensive about blackface costumes on Halloween. A family, they can't hide their racism. And the same woman fired for making racist comments is going after Meghan, on her YouTube channel. And then when she talks about Meghan, she gets a lot of views. I can see 320,000 views from, drumming up hate against Meghan. Another one, 61,000 views. And it tells you why she doesn't stop. It tells you what she has to speak about Meghan. Megyn Kelly, who worked for NBC and was fired for making racist comments. It tells you these are the type of people who drum up hate against Prince Harry and Meghan. And Kate Castillo said that people claim to hate Meghan, but they are all in everything that she does. Yes, Kate, but the thing is, it's about money. They make a lot of money. Look at Megyn Kelly. She gets 320,000 views talking about Meghan. When I look at a different separate video, when she spoke about, the opposition with college, an alarming number of young, men, or on Stacey Abrams, she got a small amount of views when she spoke about these other political figures. But when she speaks about Meghan, 114,000 views, 320,000 views. It tells you why they can't stop. Now, Christopher Bowsy said that so now Megyn Kelly is getting on the anti-Meghan Markle bandwagon. My family, it tells you what they do to try and get money, try and make money. It's like she's been told by UK Press, if you want to make money, then just go after Meghan. That's just how these individuals are. And someone said that she's the definition of failure, so now she uses Meghan to get noticed. Meghan is married to a loving husband, and these Karens feel like Harry was stolen from them. That's how they feel, that Harry was stolen from them. Even when they talk, that's how they say that they feel. My family, something needs to happen with these people. Something needs to be done about this hate campaign that has been waged against Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. It's gone really, really too far. Now, back to phone hacking. Someone said this, that now with the mail being dragged into court by Prince Harry, Dori Lawrence, some of them who are veterans of the phone hacking wars, it appears we are at the beginning of a new chapter in the more than a decade-old saga. Other on the cancellation of part 2 of the Levinson inquiry, this is the most significant development, said Evan Harris, a former MP and campaigner for press accountability, who settled his own phone hacking claim against Murdoch's UK newspaper division earlier this year. Now, someone who can say that she used to work for Fox News, not NBC. Actually, from what I have read, Megyn Kelly also worked for NBC. She was an NBC anchor. However, she was fired for making racist comments based on what I have, read about her. She also worked for Fox News. Yes, I did see her, in some segments of Fox News. I did see her. And it tells you the type of people who go after Prince Harry and Meghan. They have a history of, a bad history. Let me just say a bad history. Let me say that. My family, as I continue, Evans Harris, a former MP and campaigner for press accountability, settled his phone hacking claim against Murdoch UK newspaper division earlier this year. It is significant because the Mail has always said that it was not involved in criminal behavior, and its executives, in fact, said so under oath at the Levinson inquiry. That is one of the many reasons why the stakes in this court case are very, very high. This is a very powerful media group, even more powerful than the Murdoch press. And it goes to question of whether the Levinson inquiry was misled or wrongly informed. The Mail, for its part, is not taking the allegations lying down. They say this, and I quote, "We utterly and unambiguously refute these preposterous smears," they said, raised the statement from A&L Daily Fail, which appears to be nothing more than a pre-planned and orchestrated attempt to drag the Mail titles into the phone hacking scandal concerning articles up to 30 years old, they said. So if it's 30 years old, what's the problem with that? If you did a crime 30 years ago, you should pay for that crime. If you did a crime 30 years ago, you should still pay for that crime. Now, they don't realize that they're telling on themselves, do they? They just don't realize that they're telling on themselves. Now, they say this, that these unsubstantiated and highly defamatory claims based on no credible evidence appear to be simply a fishing expedition by claimants and their lawyers, some of whom have already pursued cases elsewhere. The timing behind the latest turns of events is unclear, and at this point, there's more intrigue than concrete information. The one rumor I intercepted from a knowledgeable source in the UK is that a couple of ex-private investigators have come forward with strong statements. Hamlins did not have anything for me when I reached out, but sources who know how this works have said the specifics of the lawsuits won't be made public until the plaintiffs file their particulars of claim, and they have 2 weeks to do so from the date the claims were filed on October the 6th. So by now, Harry's lawyers, Elton John's lawyers, must have filed, a response, the particulars of the claim. Now, you may, however, find some clues in the writings of Graham Johnson, a former Sunday Mirror investigations editor who blew the whistle in 2014 on his own use of the dark arts. See the language. See how they speak. These individuals engage in criminal behavior. They engage in criminal behavior. And it's high time that they answer for their crimes. Now, my family, also, Johnson was convicted of phone hacking and is now part of a crowd-funded journalism platform called Byline Investigates and the affiliated Expose.news, which have published dozens of articles over the past 5 years about alleged wrongdoing at the Mail and Mail on Sunday. At the very least, the so-called legal offensive from Harry and company is a thorn in the side of the Mail's leadership. It has brought unwanted scrutiny, just as the 126-year-old Daily Mail and General Trust is setting out a new cause as a private company under the direction of Jonathan Harmsworth, 4th Viscount Rothmere, a good friend of Camilla, the Queen Consort. Now, who was named CEO last month in addition to his role as a chairman. Lord Rothmere's family have been stewards of the Daily Mail since its founding in 1896 by Alfred Harmsworth, 1st Viscount Northcliffe, and his brother Harold, 1st Viscount Rothermere. The cases have also called into question the anticipated House of Lords peerage of Paul Dacker, the former long-time editor of the Mail, who now serves as editor-in-chief of Daily DMG Media, which oversees the Mail and its sister titles. "I cannot be any more unequivocal," Dacker told the Levinson Inquiry. My family, one of the reasons why this moment may seem like a sudden revelation is that it's always taken something really exceptional to force broadcast media to mention any of these press ethics issues. And this was a lead item on ITV and BBC News when it broke, which is remarkable, said Brian Cathart, a Kingston University journalism professor and former executive director of Hacked Off, who gave testimony at the Levinson Inquiry. It's a big milestone. My family, mine is to hope that this court case leads to the end of the Daily Flip.